y'all, welcome and welcome back to my channel. It's me, KiaSimoneWrites. The Braxtons is down to the internet and the TV telling all their damn family business. And I guess we just gonna go ahead and get into it, shit. I mean, we mind everybody else's business. So now before we do, y'all, please be sure to like, share, comment, and subscribe if you've not already. And you know, I'm gonna review the episodes, but I feel like I just got some stuff to get off my chest in regard to the family, the show, their issues, all that. I understand that this season is going to be centered around their niece Ashley and her accusations or allegations about what she has experienced in the family, specifically with Trina's ex-husband, Gabe. She say, I guess, I don't know what all went down, but apparently Gabe had touched her on the inside parts and she was a minor. And as usual, the child who was violated has now been, I guess, excommunicated from the family. But we'll get into that. My first issue is even in regard to her coming out and sharing that she had that experience and that she was cut off by her aunts, that they didn't embrace her or support her, that she was treated like she was a villain as well. And they're going to go on in one of these scenes for Trina and Towanda to discuss it. And Towanda is going to be saying to Trina that she is a victim too because Trina did nothing. Essentially, Trina is the person who was subject to the betrayal. Trina is who was betrayed by her husband and I guess effectively her niece. Now, the niece is saying, I betrayed you. Your husband violated me. I was a child. But I think for Trina, the issue is, I think what Trina is not saying completely because she kind of tiptoeing around it but not directly saying it. I think Trina's issue is, yes, Gabe was wrong, but I think she feels like the niece wasn't necessarily violated. I think she feels like the niece participated in that act through agreement and consent. Like nobody coerced her. Like this isn't something she didn't want to do. This is something she wanted to do. She did it. She enjoyed it. Like that's the vibe that I get from Trina. And I guess that's her justification for why there is the kind of reaction or the family has taken whatever position they've taken in regard to this niece. But the thing is, that seems to be just the tip of the trauma iceberg in terms of this family. And she goes on to share how her sister had been violated, I guess by somebody in the family, and Tamar, who was of the generation before them, had been violated in the family and nobody helped Tamar. Tamar said it was essentially swept under the rug, which is why Tamar was the aunt that decided that this season she was going to give her niece a platform for her voice. So she wasn't going to be participant in silencing or suppressing what her niece had to say about her experience. She said she was going to bring her on the show and let her share her side of the story. Now, my issue with that is this. I understand what Tamar is doing, and I, to a degree, respect it. I understand that she's saying, I'm not going to be complicit in treating my niece like she was a villain when she was violated. I'm not going to be complicit in that. But overall, I feel like what this family is doing is, first of all, anything they can to stay on TV. This is a desperation for fame like I have never seen. Furthermore, what I feel like is happening, or you know what's funny to me, is last season was centered around Tracy's son. And we basically watched them help him ruin his life. By the end of that damn season, he was divorced, done lost the house, custody of the child, didn't even make it to court, fucking around with them, but they want to film a scene and make it about this whole family thing. And it's family when it comes to them and their shows and their fame, but not when it comes to anybody else that needs their help or support. So now that they have milked Tracy's son for everything possible, and him and his daddy, that I hope that they're back on better terms, and they done dragged that out all over the internet. Now we going to the brother's daughter. And we gonna get into all her trauma and her sister's trauma, who passed away, I think it was last year or the year before. And the niece goes on to share that the story that was told to the public is that her sister passed away as a result of heart issues, but her sister actually passed away as a result of drug use. And the drug use, I guess, was induced by her own PTSD and trauma from her being violated. Now, I also recall the niece Ashley, who's on the show, sharing her story. I recall, now this is alleged because I don't want nobody coming back and I said that, and it's all over the damn internet that you said that, and now I got a problem on my hands. So allegedly, she has said that the reason she felt some guilt in regard to her sister and her sister's trauma and trouble, because eventually I guess she had violated her sister's child. It's a lot. I don't believe her and her daddy get along no more. I think she has left, relocated to some other part of the country or to another country, and she just don't deal with the family at all. She has removed herself completely. And having said all that, I just find it interesting that last season it was Tracy's son. This season it's the brother Michael's daughter and his deceased daughter, because essentially we're talking about her trauma too. But Towanda keeps her kids tucked away. And the only time we see her daughter, because she got 2 children now, I don't know what a son is, but the only time we see her daughter is when they're coming out to do activities and they want to present her in this light as a creative who made her own dress. And I listen, and let me get my thoughts and my words together, because that's still a child of me, but that's some weird shit that she had on her mama wedding, but that's another conversation. Anyway, Trina's children are tucked away somewhere, and we get to see them in minute little spurts, but they make sure to present them in the light of, oh, there are these adults that have their own life, and I don't know what's going on, but they're doing great, and we're going to mind our business, and we're not going to drag their business on the show. But you get Tracy's son, and Tracy is no longer here to defend or protect her child. You get Michael's daughters, who he ain't never been part of the spotlight bullshit y'all got going on. So we know he ain't going to be coming to the forefront to protect or defend his children. Meanwhile, their children are tucked away, hidden from the public eye. And when you bring them out, it's only to present them in some artificial light that you created. I find that to be some absolute utter bullshit. And for me, it feeds everything that Ashley is saying about how the family treats her. Because you're not going to tell me that they are exploiting one sister's child, y'all are exploiting the brother's children, and then you protect yours, and you want me to think that y'all are the kind of family that loves and protects and includes and takes care of every man. Kiss my ass. I absolutely believe that they found out whatever happened between Ashley and Gabe, and it was an automatic Ashley is the problem. And I furthermore believe it because we watched Trina remarry Gabe on this same show. And we watch her carry on, I can't lose anybody else. And how much losing Gabe affected her. And she's still around there cooking Gabe's meals for her black ex-husband. I'm cooking chorizo. Shut up. She carried on about how he raised her children even though they weren't his. But you never mentioned how he laid up with your niece even though she was a child. Then Trina had the sheer final sale audacity to get down to this damn TV and say she feels like you shouldn't be out here telling stories about someone who's no longer around to defend themselves. Well, let me help you understand that death does not absolve you of who you were in life. You don't get to do any evil, wretched thing you want to do and then die and think everybody is supposed to change your damn colors. No, you is the devil. You ain't been in life, and we gonna tell everybody how you ain't been in death. And for Trina to still be protecting a dead man who you know did this. It's not like the question is whether it actually happened. That doesn't seem to be the question. The question seems to be the intent of how it happened. Like, was she really seduced by this older man, or was she trying to do the seducing? Like, that's what it gives. And I don't understand how you found out your husband was laid up with your niece, even if it was voluntary, even if she did seduce that man, even if her teenage hormones got to raging, that grown-ass man had to agree to lay up with that damn child. And for your family to do anything less than jump that bitch, you cannot convince me that this is anything less than a family full of predators. And this season's prey is the niece Ashley. And now they fighting amongst themselves about who said Ashley should or shouldn't be on the show. And now accusations being thrown around by Tamar said Towanda stealing all her money. And Tamar said she put the down payment on Towanda's house and we gonna get into all that. And then Towanda saying, now Towanda ain't never denied the damn stealing accusations. Her comeback is, well, what did you steal? Tamar said, I don't steal anything. Towanda said, you steal men. Tamar said, who man did I steal? She said, Tony's. Which one of Tony's man I took? Now, I don't know who they said because they done got smart, and not only did they bleep it out, but they also blurred her mouth because you know they got people who be reading lips and stuff, and they just get down to the internet and tell us everything the people said that they didn't want us to know they said, but they blurred it all out, so we don't know. Now, somebody had gone down the rabbit hole, and they went digging up all of Tony's known exes and started doing a process of elimination, and they found it was some man, I guess, Bryant, somebody. I don't know that she used to date. Somebody I am unfamiliar with. I do not give a damn because I don't care who she used to lay up with. But Tamar was absolutely offended. Tamar started flipping drinks off the damn table. But you bitch, you low down dirty bitch. And that she is. Towanda is a low down dirty bitch with no wig on. Tony and Tamar toe to toe, they about to fight. It's a mess. But now I'm ahead of myself, and I'm gonna get down into all the scenes, and we're gonna break down the episodes. But I'm a little bit triggered. And it's a few cents I needed to get off my chest about this bullshit before I really get down into it. Now, rewinding back to the beginning of episode 1, because I'm going to just go ahead and try to get this review done real quick. Episode 1 starts out with, of course, flashbacks to season 1. We catch up on all that fake bullshit they be having going on, because that's the other thing that gets on my nerves. Yeah, let me get this little piece off my chest. I noticed that every season, especially since Tracy has passed, they start out the season with this whole, oh, we miss Tracy. We love Tracy so much. It's this whole sentimental sack of shit that they pull about how much they love Tracy and they just wish she was here. But the whole time she was here, we watched y'all treat her like shit on TV. And now it's all this bullshit. And let me tell you, I feel like it's a tactic. It's a ploy to keep people off their ass because they know they are coming with, first of all, absolutely nothing. And beneath the nothing is absolute bullshit. So the whole, we love Tracy so much, we miss her so much, is to tap into the sentimental part of the audience. Because they know the audience is going to call them on this money grab bullshit that they got going on, because that's all the show is. Like, when they first came on air, it was so fun to watch them because they were a regular kind of family. Like, they were a regular family who happened to have a famous sister and they all could sing. And it was just fun to watch them and watch them be a family and be sisters and their antics. And when they would break out in song and make up songs, and they would have a fight here and there in between, but they were just this fun kind of a family. And this has devolved into the lowest level of degenerate dysfunction that and Tamar says, I think in this most recent episode, she was talking to T.S. Madison, and she's saying to T.S. Madison that, you know, people say all this stuff about our show and they be talking bad about us, but we a family just like any family, and all families have issues. And not only that, we're the longest running Black family on a reality series. I don't give a fuck. Being the longest, the first, the last, it don't mean that it's good. Just because you doing some bullshit for a long time don't mean it's not bullshit. And this is bullshit. This is literally, we are so desperate to be famous and we don't know any other way to get a check that we will come down to this TV. We will tell all our family business rather than heal whatever issues we have. We're going to perpetuate them right on down to the next generation. And we will undermine our entire family structure if you promise us a check. And I believe that's especially true for Towanda and Trina. Because Trina gives me super pick-me, first of all. Trina, the reason she is so easily, even in Gabe's death, even though Gabe betrayed her all kinds of ways and did all kinds of dirt to her, the reason she could take his side over her niece is because, to me, Trina is the type of chick that sees salvation in a man. Like the same way that Tony and Tamar see singing as a career, Trina sees marriage as a career. Like, she wants a man to take care of her. There ain't nothing wrong with having a man to take care of you or wanting a man to take care of you. But when you make that man your God, when you make that man your career to the degree that you will turn a blind eye to any dirt that they do to people that you are assigned to protect, that's when you got a motherfucking problem. And Trina is willing to put them fucked up marriages on TV if it means she can get a check, because I ain't gonna be doing too much singing. The only singing she was doing some background stuff with Tony, which means if Tony is not on tour, you ain't working unless you got some other hustle. And we know she had the bar. But according to Tamar, some of her stuff was overpriced and it was a menu that nobody wanted, but she didn't want to change anything. And so that went down the drain. And now her job, I guess, is being married to Vaughn. And she said, I think she went to school for real estate or something. So I guess she gonna be selling real estate. Like, okay, girl. And Towanda you know what I think Tawanda's issue is? Towanda thought she would be living Tamar's life. That is Tawanda's issue. Towanda is also, because to a degree, I think all of them are male-centered. I think all of them have an element of pick-me to them. But Towanda, I think, is next in line in terms of pick-me's. And Towanda, I remember when they first came on in that first iteration of this series or whatever the hell they got, I remember seeing her husband and her family and realizing that Towanda and Andre are low-key the same person in two different bodies. And they thought they were going to run the same hustle on each other. Andre married Towanda because she was Toni Braxton's sister. And Andre thought he was going to marry into riches and wealth. And he was going to get to kick his feet up and be a stay-at-home husband. He didn't understand that that's exactly why Towanda was marrying him. Towanda was marrying him for the security of having somebody to take care of her when she's not on the road with Toni. And remember, she used to be Toni's assistant. So she was on Toni's payroll outside of just being on tour. But I mean, if Toni ain't got nothing for you to do, or if Toni is going bankrupt and she has to get rid of staff and cut her payroll, you got to have something to back up. And part of the problem is you have these people who are siblings to a superstar who feel like, the natural byproduct, the natural happening is that, we sisters, I should be a superstar too. And their mother reared them that way. When that lady forced Toni to take her sisters on tour as though she owes them her opportunity, she created monsters. And they are entitled they get that from their mama. And I don't mean to be talking about nobody's mama. I don't want to have to drag their mama. But she is queen problem. She sits up and won't do nothing with her life and expects her daughters to take care of her because they're rich and they're famous. Like, ma'am. But back to what I was saying. Tawanda's issue is she just knew that she would be living the life that Tamar lives. And she would have been okay with not getting that life if Tamar hadn't gotten it. See, they all, I think, came to the agreement that they had to accept Toni being the breakout star in the beginning. That they were this big group of sisters and the record label wanted her and she gets the big deal. But we get to go along. We do get the consolation prize of being background singers for her. And we get to travel and we're going to get to be in the same rooms and rub the same elbows and have access to the same A-list people. So we going to find us some rich men's girl. And when Toni blew up and they got to be on tour with her and they got to get the residuals of her star power and whatever her leftovers of the stardust was, that was okay. Because they were all in the background together. But then Tamar done finessed and finagled her way to marrying a damn executive. Now, hold on now, bitch, because ain't this been Toni manager? I don't know if he was Toni's manager or producer or something Vince was for Toni, which is how he and Tamar met from what I recall. But she meets and marries this executive who gives her the married to an executive life. She's living in the mansion and she is wearing designer and driving luxury and she's living the life. And on top of her, having the life to be envied, she has a mouth that you want to knock shut. And in Tawanda's mind, that is a formula for not deserving that life. How is this she say anything she want to say out her mouth. She does not control herself. Now, I don't know if she slept with Toni, man, but I believe the brat was telling the story about how Jermaine Dupri, mama or stepmama, had beat Tamar down by messing with Jermaine Dupri daddy. Now, I believe that was Tamar. She told that story about it. If it was not Tamar, I am so sorry for dragging your name. Now if it was you, you probably had deserved that ass whooping, but I'm just saying. But Tamar basically has these deficits. She has these issues that in somebody like Towanda's mind disqualifies her from success. Why does she get it? Why does she get the win? And she's not pretending to be this perfect person, because that's another thing that Towanda does. She tries to present this image of being prim and proper and stoic, and she is the one who knows how to behave, and she can keep a secret, and she manages all the girls and their issues. She's helping to keep Tony's life straight. Like, she is the center of order in their family. That was supposed to be her position. But it's fake as fuck. And that's what fake as gets you. And as a matter of fact, I believe it was in this most recent episode that Tamar was saying to T.S. Madison that she really feels like the only reason she has the success that she has right now is because she finally came out as her authentic self. The version of her that we got to see on Vince and Tamar, whatever that show was they had, that, you know, people were down her throat about, please shut the up. And you do not know how to talk to your husband. Truth be told, you don't know how to talk to nobody. But I mean, that's another subject. And all the other criticisms that came with Tamar and her over the damn top personality that sometimes you love and sometimes you want to kick straight in the damn throat. But like it, love it, or hate it, as she said, her authenticity is what opened the door to success for her. Whereas I don't think Towanda has an authentic bone in her body. But part of the reason I believe that Towanda struggles with having any level of authenticity within herself is because I don't think Towanda truly knows who Towanda is. I don't even think Towanda knows what Towanda wants out of life aside from success. I want to be rich. I want to have the things that I see other people around me have, which is also why she liked to steal from Tamar, because that's another thing that's a running theme. Every iteration of this damn series that they have, we see Tamar finding, recovering, calling out some shit that Towanda has stolen from her. It's like, you need to get help. They showed a scene from the original series where Towanda had just moved into some house and she's showing them around the house. Tamar in the closet looking through shit because she see familiar shit. She said, wait a minute now, I thought I lost this shit. Why is the girl, I believe she had one of them big plastic bins where she was just collecting her things that Towanda had stolen from her house. Like, that bitch couldn't come sit on my porch. To me, when somebody will come into your space and just be constantly taking things from you, like, what else you want to steal? My life? And I think in case of Tamar and Towanda, the answer is yes. I think the answer is yes. She wants Tamar's life. I think that's even why she marrying that damn man, Sean. And I'm going to tell you, I listen, this is just me and my random observation. But I believe she making that man miserable. Because something that stands out to me, you know, people will say when people get in relationships, they start gaining weight and it's happy weight and yada, yada, yada. Let me tell you something. That's some bullshit. And I'm not saying I've not done it or it's not happened to me, but that's why I can tell you it's some bullshit. My recommendation is just a whole nother subject. We'll get back to Sean. My recommendation is to stay market ready. Keep your shit together. Whatever you had going on, that pull that motherfucker, keep it tight, keep it right. Because if you get to acting stupid today, I need to be ready to get back on the market tomorrow. But when Sean first came on the scene, I remember Sean was in great shape. He just looked great. He looked healthy. He looked happy. Fast forward a few years. I remember the man used to go running and walking and different stuff that we used to see him say he was going to do on the show. Fast forward a few years, he came back. The man just looked sad. He done gained all kind of weight. He done lost all his hair. I said, oh yeah, she making his good and miserable. And I believe that because she hasn't had that same kind of change. She seems to be in the same great shape she was always in. So you just watch your man melt and fall apart. You don't say, baby, let's go for a walk. What's going on? You all right? I noticed you've been eating a lot lately. I noticed you stopped going for your walks. You okay? No, you happy to see that man not taking care of himself, bust the fuck up, toe the fuck up. Because all that means is it's all the more difficult for him to move on and find somebody else when he realizes I ain't shit. And Towanda ain't. And I think he's a fool to damn marry her. Because remember when they first started dating on this show and Towanda was trying to suggest to him something about getting pregnant, and that man had to tell her real hard on TV, if you get pregnant, motherfucker, it won't be for me because I ain't gonna get you pregnant. I can't get you pregnant. And if you pop up pregnant, it's gonna be a misunderstanding. She was fully prepared to trap that man with a damn baby. When I tell you I have no respect for Towanda, it's like Towanda makes my skin crawl. she's just this palpable evil that I cannot stand her. And the funny thing, oh, that's another thing, child. I was scrolling through the internets, right? And I was down to TikTok and came across one of their damn cousins. Child, a cousin looked like Towanda and all. Beautiful, dark-skinned girl. She has a bald head just like Towanda. Telling all the damn business. She said Towanda and Trina always been like that. And they've always been jealous-hearted, especially in regard to their more successful sisters. She said this ain't no shit that just started. Not the jealousy, not the stealing, not the lying and arguing. Ain't none of that shit new. That lady said she got all kind of stories she can tell us from family reunions, but she spared us for the moment. She just wanted us to know that Tamar ain't lying on them. That yes, Towanda is a jealous-hearted thief. That she has always been jealous-hearted. She's always had an issue with Tamar. And, you know, when Tamar goes on to say that she put the down payment on Towanda's house, and I believe she bought Towanda a car, and she used to help Towanda pay her bills even when she was married to Andre. To know that Tamar has done that much for her sister, and her sister waits until, first of all, she thinks Tamar has fallen off. Because Tamar is not married to Vince anymore. And she doesn't have that life that Vince was providing. Now she has to go out and work and hustle and figure it out. But she seems to be working and hustling and figuring it out. Now, although your sister has always been there for you and made sure that you and your children were better than okay, at any opportunity you get, you will disparage and disrespect the very sister that helped you, the very hand that fed you. The way Towanda behaves, you can't convince me that Towanda did not take joy in watching Tamar's life fall apart when her marriage was coming apart and everything that was going on with all them best relationships after Vince, because that was an absolute mess. But you cannot convince me that Towanda didn't take joy in that spiral that Tamar was in. Meanwhile, Tamar is just trying to buy her sister's love. And I don't even think she's truly setting out to buy her love. But I think every gesture is an effort to communicate that I love you. Even if you don't love me. I don't know why you don't like me. I don't know why you feel the way you feel about me. But I love you and I would do anything for you. And Lord, I'm going to try not to get emotional because I know how that feels. I know that feeling. And I know when you can't love a person enough. You can't help them enough. You can't support them enough. There's nothing that you can do that will uproot that disdain that they have for you. And you don't know where it came from. Now, I'm not saying that Tamar is some innocent party by any means, because we know Tamar is wild and a motherfucker when it comes to her mouth. We watched Tamar do a round table dragging all her sisters by their damn husbands. But your husband ain't this, and your husband ain't that, and your husband ain't this. Now let her tell it now, all these years later. She was saying that, yeah, y'all got them problematic husbands, and y'all think I live this great, grand, fabulous life. And yes, I am married to a high-earning man who does provide me a great, grand, fabulous life, but that comes with a price, and I ain't talking about dollars. She said she was trying to make it known that Vince was a motherfucker, that Vince was a monster all his own to be dealing with, and that she wasn't trying to drag her sister's body husbands. Now, I don't know, maybe in some twisted way that made sense to her, and that was the way to communicate that. But I remember watching that scene and my jaw being like on the floor, because what did you just drag these bitches by their husbands over dinner? And we know that Tamar contributes a lot to her own problematic reputation, even in terms of like the whole Verzuz that recently happened, the Cash Money versus No Limit. And I didn't watch it, not because I have anything against them. I grew up listening to both. I love their music. I just didn't feel like a bunch of bullshit and buffoonery. And anywhere that Birdman is, you guaranteed to have buffoonery not too far behind him. Now, apparently, Tony done sent Tamar down there to the damn Verzuz to keep an eye on her man, I guess, so her man keep his hands in his pockets and his mouth shut. And that didn't help, because he done got on the mic and cursed Turk out and all kind of dumb shit. He just dumb as hell. Always saying some dumb shit. I don't have no high threshold for dumb shit right now. I couldn't take it. So I ain't watched that. But I've seen the clips. And sometimes Tamar don't think shit through. Now, y'all got an episode that's on air right now where you are being accused of sleeping with your sister's man. And she is vehement that has never happened. That's the bullshit. She would never. Oh, well, I mean, and I don't know. Personally, I don't put anything past anybody. Because I know people who will cry, glory, hallelujah, Hosanna in the highest, and be laid up with people damn husbands. So I don't put nothing past no damn body. I'm not going to sit here and say what Tamar did or didn't do. And Tamar would never, because I don't fucking know. Now, the way that she reacted, it leads me to believe that, no, maybe that girl ain't did that. Because she ready to tell these people restaurant beef up. So I'm not saying Tamar did or did not sleep with one of her sister mans. I don't know. But my thing is, if that's already out there, the episode is on air right now. The conversation is all over the internet. People are trying to figure out which one of the mans Towanda said you slept with and if you really did sleep with him. And in the midst of all that, you down to the Verzuz, all up under your sister husband, who your sister be claiming ain't her damn husband. I don't know what the hell Tony and Birdman got going on, but it is ridiculous from beginning to whenever the end is going to be. That is a ridiculous ass relationship. I do, Lord. But everybody is of the consensus. Everybody seems to believe that Tony sent Tamar down there to babysit that man, which that's a whole nother damn conversation. When your man got to be babysat while cameras is on him, God damn, let's turn that to end. Give him back to the streets, damn. But Tamar down there, Birdman is on FaceTime with Tony. She all in the phone. They on the stage doing their songs. She at the front like she on the damn records. Tamar up there just twerking and shaking her back and shit. Tamar, go to the back. Go sit down in the audience. Like Tamar was in front of the actual artists who were part of No Limit and Cash Money at the time. Why are you here? And it gives, I want this attention. I want to be the center of attention, even in circumstances that have nothing to do with me. It was cringy. The way that Tamar was at the center of everything. Like, why is we seeing all these clips? Are you running back and forth on the stage? Birdman up there with a big bottle. I guess that's a bottle of Moet. Something he had, some champagne. He up there with a big bottle of champagne, chugging it to the head. She over there trying to talk to him and tell him to don't drink that and pouring water in his mouth and trying to take the bottle from him. He's snatching the bottle back. And now she down to the internet arguing with everybody about that's my sister husband and I was doing what I was supposed to do for my sister and my brother. Sit the fuck down sometimes. You are why people believe the shit that people say about you. Sit your ass down. Even if she was sent there to be a handler, you can do that without trying to be the star of the show. But that's that Braxton need for fame. That's that I will do anything to make sure I'm on camera and people see me. Because I'm going to tell you, even if I hadn't seen this most recent episode, even if I hadn't heard all of the carrying on about accusing Tamar sleeping with one of Tony's men from the past, just seeing the whole, how she was, and how she up under him at Verzuz, and she all in the, listen, I get that. I see a lot of people say Tamar is just the quintessential little sister. And I get that, but there's still decorum and codes of conduct. I'm not saying that she really did anything wrong, so to speak. I'm not saying like she wasn't rubbing the man down or, ooh, if I was Tony, I'd ride my man to sleep. Like, she didn't do anything out of the way, but it's just that sometimes Tamar is her worst enemy. And I think Tamar is the kind of person who lives by the all press is good press bullshit. She believes any attention is good attention. Because you know what I think the thing is that Tamar seems to do, and this is something she does that gets on my nerves, is she does stuff like this where she contributes to her own misperception and then pretends that she doesn't understand why people misperceive her. Like, I'm just so misunderstood. Nobody understands me. Like, why do people think I always have negative intentions? Because you will not sit the fuck down. And personally, I'm going to tell you, Now, I get that Tamar is a sister, and she's a little sister, and she wants the love of her sister. She wants the love of her family. But I am at a place in my life where I don't care who it is. I live by when people show you who they are, believe them the first time. You show me you don't fuck with me. That's it. I'm not chasing you down. I'm not chasing a relationship down. I'm not chasing understanding down about why you don't like. Soon as you show your ass with me, soon as you let it be known you ain't with me like I with you, I got to let you go about your way. I'm not going out my way to show you how supportive I am and how much I love you. Something I had to learn the hard way. It's just because you give love and because your love is real and it's pure, it does not mean that it will be reciprocated. Everybody does not practice reciprocity. They don't practice appreciation. People take people for granted. And you're not going to trigger their conscience by trying to love them. And if I give to them and they see that I'm a good person, maybe they'll stop being so up toward me. No, they're going to take what you're giving and then continue to be as up as you allow them to be. To some degree, was Tamar maybe there, yes, to play the little sister role and support her big sister, and that may not have been Tony's scene, or Tony don't want to look like the desperate woman who is just there to keep an eye on her man, but Tamar like that's I'm gonna send Tamar down there to twerk and act a fucking fool, but really she down there to spy on my man. Like, yeah, maybe it was a lot of that, but I think it was also a lot of opportunism. I think it was, ooh, here's a chance for me to be front and center. And I'm going to get to stand in Toni Braxton's place next to Birdman, which means essentially that I am siphoning their shine. I am whatever attention they would have gotten, I'm going to now get. And that, I think, is Tamar's most important form of currency, is attention. And my thing is, what value is it to have the attention of the world if all you're going to do is show your ass when you got it? Now, I was going to say getting back into the episode and I was going to finish going through and reviewing episode 1, but I think I'm going to wrap this up here because I had more than 2 cents on $1 worth of business. I had needed to get that off my chest, so I'm going to go ahead and get that down. Yeah, I'll be back in the next video to review the actual episodes. Then I'm going to review Real Housewives of Potomac. And listen, I promise y'all, and I promise me, I am going to finish reviewing That Heart and Hustle Houston. But when I tell you, if I'm telling y'all the truth, that series was dry as fuck. It started off all right, but it got so damn dry. I went and tried to watch. I think I got 5 episodes left. I think I tried to watch all 5, just like run it like a marathon while I try to clean my room and do some laundry and stuff. When I tell you I woke up 4 or 5 hours later, TV just running, I mean dry. So if I'm going to make myself sit up and watch the show, y'all know I told y'all I can't be drinking them people coffee no more. I tried that damn Mexican coffee and about damn killed myself. So I said all that to say, I'm going to come back and review these episodes 1 through 3. I'm going to review this most recent episode of Potomac and them with all they filters and bullshit. And then Heart and Hustle Houston if I can keep my eyes open. But that's it. That's all, and I ain't got no more. Thank y'all so much for coming down here listening to me and let me get this off my chest. Y'all, please be sure to like, share, comment, and subscribe if you're not already. And in the meantime, until next time, just like every time, if nobody else told you today, you know I love you and I mean it. Bye.